Hey all, this is something I'm starting. Um, going to. It's sometimes what happens is I'm not feeling well, and I want to be active. I want to get on and do stuff. And if I got like a race at Darlington or a race at Bristol or Martinsville or something like that, it's very hard for me to go through because I gotta, you gotta break 1,000 laps, 1,000 times, and my feet are really been kind of bothering me, and other issues too. But if the races are shorter, like a truck race or Xfinity race, not that big of a deal. But if it's like a long cup race or something I want to work on and not just get into, so I'm gonna start this separate season series. Um, 50% in the Xfinity car. Kind of modeled it sort of like around ARCA, but you can't make your own uh, seasons in Heat 4. And the reason why I'm doing this on Heat 4 is because my Heat 5, no matter how many times I uninstall it, reinstall it, and whatever, it does not save career mode or championship season, separate seasons. But you can do your own schedule in custom schedule, which is great. But I don't know, it's been screwed up for years. I lost all my setups the first time, so I go through a little bit of a procedure to make sure the setups, that whatever save. But I haven't been able to use any of the other features of it, and that's why I am on Heat 4 and learning a lot though, and that directly translates to Heat 5. Mainly the difference is you get a little bit less grip on Heat 5. So you can take a Heat 4 setup, put it in Heat 5, and maybe lower the track bars one click, and you're like 99% there. Um, that's, I've done that, and, it works really well. And you don't have to either. It all depends on what you're racing, how long you're racing, how long the fuel runs are, and you know, eh, there's a bunch of things, and you don't have to lower the track bars. You could just add a little right psi, a little wedge. All depends on the track situation, your skill level, your comfort level, etc., 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 etc. Anyway, so I decided to do this, and I'm gonna do this in the what they call the competition mode. I didn't mean to do that. But competition mode is supposed to be like setting the AI at the highest, hardest level. In the other series, I have the speed set to maximum at Legend, but I believe I have one of the settings in wide, which is kind of more realistic, so the field spreads out a little bit more. And to be fair, that's like how real racing is. With certain exceptions, it tracks now with the new next gen cars and aero packages in the Cup Series. Is pretty much this is how you race. We don't have New Atlanta, to compare it to. Get back out of this, because I wanted to show you some. So when I'm not feeling good enough to run whatever's up next on the other championship schedule, I'll come here and run these, because these are, you can see, they're half, 50%. No stages, no stage points. Just racing. Uh, that's the schedule. 25 races. There's some tracks I wouldn't have included, and some tracks that I would have, maybe gone to twice. But here we got like 3 road courses in a row. What is it? Watkins Glen, Mid Ohio, and Road America. Boom, 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 and then straight into Darlington. So this is gonna be a fun stretch. But if you look, it's 41 laps at Watkins Glen, 38 laps in Mid Ohio, 30, because Road America is like the longest track that NASCAR runs at, 4.5 miles almost. And then, you know, we go into Darlington, it's only 74 laps. Indy, 50 laps. But what I like about it, the Roval, yes, I wouldn't include the Roval, but it's only 28 laps. Um, Kansas, 100 laps, and Homestead, 100 laps. Um, Doing some settings, I wanted to show you. See, instead of the legend, you get the number system like you have in Heat 5, which they added to Heat 4 because it was just the legend, you know, legend whatever hard, and then they added this. These are 105 is faster than legend. I don't know how much faster in Heat 4 because I didn't play the career mode when they added this. We were already on Heat 5, and I didn't really, you know, I just put this aside until recently. But this is going to be harder, and when you hit the competition, see, there's in the driving thing. Well, we're high. We'll just put this on normal. Skill range, we'll put it on normal. Yeah, high. Yeah, it's all normal. This is the AI. All normal. We don't have to go extreme because that's kind of stupid. I never do draft partners because what ends up happening is you get hooked up with a guy and then you don't want to be hooked up with him, but you're stuck with him, especially if you're behind him. And so sometimes you have to end up pushing him to a win. So I'd rather just, you know, be free of that because the game doesn't manage that right. Okay, so here we go. And you can see these are my other controls. Force feedback, critical for me to drive. No dead zone on the steering because there is one in the wheel, which is kind of like real life. So there's always going to be a little bit of play. So you don't need a steering dead zone. That'll just wreck you quicker. Right in the middle, this is how it came, right in the middle. Brake sensitivity I have all the way down because they have way too much brakes. And I got that 923 wheels and pedals, and the brake is more sensitive, or I should say less sensitive and more realistic. It's kind of heavier to push and more like a real race car. A little heavier than a street car, but I'm fine with it. I always would bring whatever car I got. I always bring it into my mechanic, the first oil change or whatever. Or if I bought it used and I was having him go over some stuff, and I always bought shocks and tires and stuff, and have him put it on. I'd be like, you know, tighten up the brakes. Just tighten up the brake pedal. I like a really tight brake pedal because to me it gives you more responsiveness. And throttle, put throttle in the middle. Some guys put it all the way up, some guys put it all the way down. I had it both ways. My thinking on it in both games, thinking on it was if you have less sensitivity, then you're not going to spin the tires as quickly. If you have it all the way up, some guys feel that you get a little more speed. I haven't really seen that, you know. But you put it in the middle, it's like that's the way it came. I don't know. It's been fine. I haven't seen any issues. So this is what we got. No stages. This championship will be no stages. Xfinity car. I always put it on high brake smoothing, which helps because the brake sucks on this game. So anything you can do to offset, you know, terrible braking. And I got it to where on most tracks I'm pretty good. Yeah, normal. Still strict yellows. Yeah. And that's what we will be doing. So just giving you guys a heads up. So it'll be 4 different series going forward. And also, if you notice, I get to run my car. That's this paint scheme I prefer to run. We'll talk about that in another video. But Again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy these as much as the other videos, and we'll get a little more in depth. I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'll get a little bit more in depth about fine tuning a car, setting it up, and so on and so forth. Not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but we'll tackle it going forward. We'll figure it out. But thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.